3C. You're going to be working on a trigonometry worksheet today, and it is another one of the puzzles. We did one before, which I don't think very many of you finished. But I'm going to go over this to make sure you know exactly what you're doing. So let me read this to you. Algebra takes over trigonometry. The evil Dr. Algebra has been hard at work trying to take all the enjoyment out of the world of mathematics. He has stolen some of the world's best math jokes and encoded the punchlines using trigonometry. He thinks no one will care enough to wade through all those trig questions to get them back, but your mission is to prove otherwise. Each of the following questions uses sine, cosine, or tangent to solve for the missing measures of the right triangle. When you have solved for the variable, write its value, rounded to the nearest whole number, in the appropriate box below. Once completed, you will have the key to unlocking the math jokes. Give your key to your teacher to check before deciphering the jokes. Good luck, the world is counting on you. So I'm going to go over a couple of these with you. I'm going to go over one finding a side and one finding an angle, and just show you how this is going to solve the puzzle. So starting with finding a side, you'll know it's a side because it has a small letter on the side. You'll know you're finding an angle if it's a capital letter on the corner of the triangle instead of on the side. So let's find this side length F right now. I'm going to use blue. Now remember, when you're finding when you're using the primary trig ratios, we're going to circle the angle you're using and then label the sides from that angle. So this is the opposite side, this is the adjacent side, and across from the right angle, this corner in the square corner pointing the way, is the hypotenuse. Now on this particular triangle, we have side adjacent and we're looking for a side hypotenuse. So the adjacent and the hypotenuse side is the ka part of SOHCAHTOA. So ka is cos, and we're going to use cos of the angle, 73 degrees. Remember that the angle always has to have sine, cos, or tan with it. And the adjacent side is 20, and the hypotenuse in this case is what we're finding, which is F. Now we'll use cross multiplication for this. Remember, there's an understood 1 there. And so we're going to multiply and then divide by this number. So that gives us F equals 20 times 1 is 20. And then we're going to divide by the cos of 73. Now we learned that shortcut before, that if we set it up and our variable is on the bottom, that our final math operation is going to be the division. So you need to do 20 divided by the cos of 73. Let's pull up a calculator. Maybe. There it is. And we're going to do 20 divided by the cos of 73. Now, depending on which calculator you've got, you may have to type in the 73 and then hit cos. And we're going to round this to 68. So this comes out to be 68. There's no measurements on here, so it's 68. It's not an angle, so it's not 68 degrees. It is a side length. Now let's find the angle. Again, when you're finding an angle, the first thing you're going to do is circle whatever you're finding and label the sides. Now over here we had the angle, so we circled the angle. Over here we're finding the angle, so we circle the angle. You're always starting by circling an angle. Now the side over here is opposite. This side here is hypotenuse. This side here is adjacent. Now remember, this corner always points the way to the hypotenuse. Directly across the triangle is always the opposite, and then the leftover side is the adjacent side. Well, in this case, we don't need the adjacent side. We have the hypotenuse, or the opposite and the hypotenuse. So that's the SO part of SOHCAHTOA. So in this case, we're going to use sine, and this is sine of angle O, equals opposite 22 over hypotenuse 45. Now, in order to find the angle, over here we were finding a side, so it's different. In order to find the angle, we have to use the second on your calculator. So angle O is going to be sine to the -1 of this value, 22 over 45. And I'm just going to put an arrow down here. O equals, let's see how we're going to punch that into the calculator. Remember, it's sine to the -1. So on my calculator, I can just do second, maybe. Oh, there it is. This is my second. It's a little up arrow. See, when I click it, this turns into sine to the -1. So depending on the calculator you're using, remember this little thing could be inverse, it could be second, it could be shift. And so you're looking for whatever button gets you what's written over top of the buttons sine, cos, and tan. Now, if you're using your iPad or smartphone or some of those, these will turn into -1s when you press that button. So I want to do sine to the -1 of 22 over 45. So sine to the -1, I have to use my brackets, 22, 22, there finally, divided by 45. 45, 5, there we go. Why is this not pressing? I'm probably fine without it. We're going to get the result. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Clear. Let's try that again. Second sine. I don't know why my calculator's not behaving. Second sine. Alright, let's shut that down and open it up again. Technology is great when it works. If it doesn't work, it's not fun at all. Second sine and of 22 over 45. 22 divided by 45. That's better. Equals, there we go, 29 degrees. My calculator even puts a little degree on it for me because it knows that when you use the second button, you're finding for an angle. So this is 29 degrees. Now at the bottom of your page, you are going to put in, see, this was F and this was O. So F is 68 and O is 29. So at the bottom of your page, you're going to write in F is 68 and O is 29. And then on your algebra page, you can, when you get it, because you're not going to get this until the teacher that is there for me sees that you've filled all of these in and checks them out. Now I've left an answer page for the supply teacher, and they will go through and check them. If you've got some wrong, they can circle them, and then you can go and fix them. But until you've got them right, you're not going to get this this coding page. Now I've left instructions that you can have, if you finish this today, you can have some of the chocolate that's in my cupboard, and well, and that's about it. So let's take a look at how we're going to decode this. So any place where you see a 29, you're going to replace it with an O. So that's an O, and that's an O, and that's an O. That's an O. There's lots of O's in here. Are there any F's? We're looking for 68. Let's scan through. There's an F. There's an F. Do I see any more 68s? I don't see any more 68s. So it looks like we got two ofs in that one. And we're going to leave it at that. Good luck.